And we are live.
We are live. No coffee today, huh?
No coffee at all. I
It's
did
late.
have a kombucha before I came.
That's caffeine.
It is caffeine, but in
I
a
like
different
you on
kind of
caffeine.
way.
It
Me
gets
too.
you even more bubbly.
Right?
It's great.
Can you guys tell we spent some money on this episode?
Especially to those just listening. I would love to know if you hear a difference. We got new mics, new stands, new headphones. Well, I do.
Yeah. And a new interface.
A new interface.
We're
and
running everything legit now.
It's
we were kind
fantastic.
of just running gunning, and now I feel like we're really doing
We're
it.
committing.
Yeah.
Which I think would only now take us to the intro.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, guys?
How we doing? My name is Marcel. I'm here with Daniel. Welcome to I'm Trying Dude, episode number 5, where
We keep it light, but we go deep, baby.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to switch it up today. I had a good one falling asleep last night when I was thinking about you.
I was stroking that shit. I was thinking about you super
Jorking
hard.
it
was
real
and
good.
by jorking it, by
Jork-
it, I mean my penis. Anyway.
Fantastic. Today we're going to catch up a little bit as we always do. I was out the country. Dan was out the city.
Yeah.
We're going to get into some guy meetups,
Yeah.
right?
What?
Yeah.
Guy meetups.
Guy meetups. We're going to talk about smuggling drugs.
Oh, yeah. Guy meetups, smuggling drugs.
You're in for a good one today. I think.
Celebrating your wins and
Nice.
what else?
Yeah.
A bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
other
celebrating your wins is a good one. I think I had another thing, but you know what? Let's see where the episode takes us.
Yeah, let's
Bro,
go.
what have
Let's
what
riff
have
it.
what have you been up to, my
stuff.
friend?
I went upstate for the weekend, which was really nice. To see
Yeah.
my parents.
Okay.
Went with my sister and
Nice.
my fiance and my dog. It was great. Honestly,
Fiance.
not
How
gonna
weird
lie.
is that to say
Dude,
so?
it's crazy, but it's also so nice. It's
Nice,
like,
hell yeah.
my fiance. It was dope. Kind of a little stressful, just because Kaya was a bit of a menace the entire time I was there.
She has been a menace since you got her.
Yeah,
dude.
she's a menace to society. Very high energy breed of dog. Love her to death, but definitely gotta rein it in a little bit. She's just like running all over the place. Loves jumping on people. And my parents are like, "Please stop, please stop
We did
this."
not sign up for
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So it was a little stressful, but all in all, great trip. Love being upstate, man. I feel like I see where I'm from with new eyes, being a little older and living in the city, especially like appreciating the slowing down, appreciating
Yeah.
the quiet. So it was nice.
Yeah,
How about you?
dude.
What'd you do?
Well, I was in Mexico.
Again? Hell yeah.
Dude,
You love it there.
So I really do. Estoy quasi mexicano.
Oh.
My God. No, my Spanish
Casi.
actually.
Casi mexicano,
Is
right?
it not
I think
quasi?
it's casi.
Yeah, probably.
Casi
Probably.
mexicano.
Yeah, no. As I'm about to like toot my own horn, my Spanish this last trip. We were in La Ventana, which
Okay.
is in Los Cabos, similar corner that I was in March. It's so Americanized down there, but still I try to like force myself to speak Spanish whenever I can, even if they like speak better English than I do Spanish, because I feel like it's the right thing to do, but also it's fun, and also like if I'm not gonna practice there, then where?
Absolutely.
But, dude, it was the fucking craziest shit. So we were supposed to go to Costa Rica.
Okay.
And the morning of the flight, we get up at 4:30 a.m. and Clara picks up the phone, and like the first thing I hear coming out of your mouth is like, "Babe, the flight's been canceled." Like, the fuck are you talking about? The flight's been canceled. There was a massive tropical storm. I've chatted with you a little bit. It's honestly fucking podcasty. That shit was just podcasty. We gotta let him in here. Look, how long did it take us? 4 minutes. This is something we talked about this morning. Like whenever we start doing shit that's like obviously fake just for the podcast, we're gonna start calling it out because we want to be the type of podcast that's like for real. So I told you about this already, but like I want to tell all of y'all as well.
I was trying to act surprised, but
yeah.
it definitely just came off as purely podcasty. So
podcasty.
Yeah.
Or also another keyword we could do is potty talk. Bro,
Potty
that's
talk.
That's potty talk.
Potty talk.
Because
Oh, that's
podcast talk, but potty talk, you're
Potty
not supposed to
talk.
do it.
Not
Kind of cute,
bad,
right?
not bad.
So either podcast or potty talk. You might hear us yelling that out at random moments. Yeah, dude, but that shit, honestly, it was such a test of my patience. Because, like, I snap into, like, okay, salvage mode, right?
Yeah.
And Clara, this whole week, it was supposed to rain for, like, 7 days of the 7 days that we were there in Costa Rica. Like, her one vacation a year, and we're supposed to, like, you know, just endure that. And I told her, like, babe, it's going to work out for the best.
Yeah.
And she's like, can you shut the fuck up with that optimism? Like, can you just be upset with me over
Let me
this?
ask you
I'm
a
like,
question. Do you actually believe that when you say it?
yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely I do.
Or are you just like trying to mitigate the
No.
loss?
No, I think I used to for a long time when I was like, yeah, I'm telling myself that so it's not a complete failure. Nah, man. Like by now I truly believe that whatever is happening, like you can change, if you can change it, which we ended up doing, right?
Right.
Cool. But if you can't, I would have enjoyed 7 days of Costa Rica. Maybe that would have meant less people. Maybe that would have meant like beautiful romantic walks in the summer rain. It was still like 80 degrees. It wasn't cold.
okay.
You know, like it's like it was like a week of summer rain, which I'm like, I fuck with. So I genuinely believe like maybe we stay in our beautiful Airbnb. We're reading, we're watching movies. Like if maybe that's what we need, so we'll take it as what it is.
Absolutely.
Turns out not what we needed. It turns out what we needed is to throw that shit overboard and go to Mexico instead, because apparently that was up. But yeah, within like 3-4 hours, had to cancel everything, rebook everything. And I saw it in your eyes. You're gonna do a potty talk.
Well,
you were gonna do it.
No.
No.
You didn't have to cancel and rebook everything. Yes, you did.
But yeah, Mexico, and then so you and I have been to. This is my third time. I've been to Germany 3 times this year, and I've been to Mexico 3 times this year.
Okay.
That's the only 2 countries I've been to this year. Super weird. U.S. Heaven fear.
Yeah.
But you and I went through this when we went to Mexico, and I just went through it again. Going to Mexico, I was like, I wanted to bring my wheat pen because, like, I haven't really talked about this, and we'll do this another time. But like, I'm not drinking right now. I haven't had a drink for like 4 months.
Whereas I'm exclusively drinking, I'm only drinking hard drinks all the time.
Nice.
Just kidding.
No, but here and there we have fun with other things, and like weed is legal here. So I was like, oh, I want to bring my wheat pen. Maybe I want to be super chill, and I'm at the border, and like. And I was like, I forgot what the airport there's
sweating.
like. Dude, they literally have, you're in line for like 30 minutes. You can see already that there's a secondary screening.
Oh yeah.
Like
Stress.
everything that you have goes through a scanning machine again.
Yep.
As a machine. And I'm like, well, I can't tell Clara that I pack the wheat pen. She's gonna stress out way more than I will.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in a line. I'm like, fuck, whatever. It's gonna be fine. Whatever needs to happen to us needs to happen to us.
That's a great way to see things.
Oh, yeah, sure was. And then they have a fucking button, dude. They have 2 buttons, a green and a red. Like when you talk to the person, that's it. And then you press the button and the light comes up, green or red.
Oh.
And it's random.
No.
And Clara goes, red, selected. I'm like, fuck, this is going to be terrible. Yeah, shat my pants, nothing happened. They ran it through it. Like, it's all fine. And I didn't even end up smoking.
Did you get the green light? You tapped it as green?
I tapped in the screen, but since we were traveling together, we both had to go.
No way.
So she fucked that up, and she didn't even realize she fucked it up. Like, so I was processing all of that shit by myself.
Oh, so speaking of processing by myself, it's funny that you guys went through this together because Marcel and I and one of our best friends Nick went to Mexico. When was this? Like a couple
3 months ago, 2 months ago. Like not
fairly recently.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to bring some stuff with us to just to have fun. And we're on the flight. I'm on the flight. Nick was, I think, on his way there. You'd already been there for a bit, and I've got all the stuff on me.
Oh yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah.
I was like, was I there for a few days? No, yeah.
No, you're there for a couple hours, and I'm getting ready into my descent, and I'm like feeling good. I took a gummy before the plane ride, so I'm chilling, And you sent me this text. It was first time I ever get text messages on a plane. This typically does not happen to me. I always, for whatever reason, my phone does not connect to plane Wi-Fi. Can't text anybody. But for today...
Which is honestly great.
I love it. It's
I
great.
like the peace and quiet up there, right?
Absolutely. But this time, my phone was working, of course. You sent me a message saying, hey, brother, take it how you want to. Just so you know... Secondary screenings are pretty intense. They're pulling people over to the side, opening bags up. So if you want to dump whatever you're bringing.
This was because I got pulled out, and the dude literally opened up my shit, and he was like, you got any drugs on you? And I was like, no. He's like, I'm not even drinking, which I'm in retrospect, probably not the greatest thing to say, like, because he's like, well, if you're not drinking, then what? He literally is like... I'm like, bro, no.
Oh yeah,
no, fucking. Yeah. I'm here for like a chill vacay.
Also, for the record, we're not snowing in Mexico.
No. It's not snowing in Mexico.
Not snowing in Mexico.
We were there in the summer
at all. In the summer.
No, wait, don't say it like that. That makes it sound like no.
Totally not worth.
Maybe Struman. Maybe. But all of this is for entertainment purposes.
Yes, this is all a prank. Anyway,
so I got pulled out, and I was sweating my balls off because he literally opens up the shit. First thing goes to my toiletry bag, which is my wheat pen. It's the same wheat pen, fucking same shit,
same one. You didn't learn your lesson.
And I got freaked out, so like I held off for as long as I could to tell you as you were right before customs, so you could make the call. Do I throw this yummy chocolate bar.
Yeah, great chocolate bars.
Or not.
Yeah. So he texts me. He's like, dude, just so you know, this is happening when you get off the plane. And I'm like, I'm like maybe 40 minutes from landing. And I'm like, I start freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's never happened to me. I'm high right now. This is crazy. You guys, and which I respect it too. You're like, dude, no pressure at all. Either way, we're gonna have a great time regardless.
Yeah.
Just like, whatever you want to do,
Dude,
see how you feel.
Yeah.
At that moment, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna close my eyes. Whatever, like I just gotta feel it out. See what what the universe is telling me right now. Look out the window and see a double rainbow outside of the plane window, which I've never seen. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be chill. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna be just fine. Got off the plane, got my luggage, walked right out of the airport. No one said a word to me. Phenomenal.
The lesson is smuggle drugs. It's easy.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut, and don't say that you got that advice from here.
Yeah, dude. And fuck, did we see double rainbows after that chocolate? That was
awesome.
a wonderful time. Mexico, honestly, like highly recommend to anybody. I had, and this was on the north coast, like off of Cancun, 3 hours to the west.
Yeah.
For everybody who wasn't there. Or hasn't seen it on our Instagram, but
secluded spot, very secluded spot.
Yeah,
very nice.
So great spot to eat chocolate.
I would say too, like I don't think this podcast would have even happened had we not done that trip. If, like,
True.
I got to know you way more, and just get closer with you as like a person.
So much.
Absolutely.
That's so true. Like, and also like big. We did this before, but big shout out to Nick. Like fucking. We would not be who we are, and y'all wouldn't be listening without him or that trip with him or anything. So like. Hell yeah, dude. Hey. Fucking, this is, got you. Okay.
Anyway.
On the way out of Mexico, so Clara and I has Clear now, which is great. So
hell yeah.
I'm one of those travelers. I have TSA Pre, I have Clear, I have Global Entry. I do not want to waste time at the airport. Fuck that shit,
Game changer.
Right?
Yep.
So she's on a visa. She can't get TSA. She can't get Global Entry, but we did get her Clear, which is awesome. Worked like a fucking charm. Mm-hmm. On the way back, though, immigration, right?
Okay.
And we're like, fuck. We got in at like 11:30 on a Thursday. She had to work the next day.
PM?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Late. Actually 12:30. Later then. So because we were delayed. And I was like, babe, when we get off this plane, you fucking book it. Like I don't care. You walk ahead of everybody that got off of our plane first, right? And you don't look back. You don't make eye contact. You go.
Move.
And we will be the first at immigration. That if there's a long line, at least we're in front of the line that would have built off of our plane,
Absolutely.
right? And yeah, this was. Oh shit! Never mind. This was. We had to make a connecting flight. This wasn't even at our. This wasn't when we arrived. This was in Chicago when we landed. So we actually had to, and that was a really nice feeling to know that like we're not just being dicks trying to get out faster than anybody, but like we had a purpose. And I was starting to walk off, and I was thinking that to myself, right? I was like, and I turned to Clara. I was like, oh yeah, we gotta hurry up. Like I say it kind of loud so people hear, and then literally like 30 seconds later, she's like, oh, we should say layover a couple times really loud. I was like, dude, were you just in my head? That's literally what I'm thinking. So like, at least they don't think we're dicks, right?
Yeah.
The amount of times people have stormed past me, and I was like, yo, are you guys really that fucking tight on time that you have to like overtake in this like 10-foot, like it's Formula One in the bitch, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the realization one, I've never considered that they might have connecting flights. Because I'm like, it's so crazy how you're always in your own world.
Yeah.
And I would get super pissed. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Same, dude.
But isn't that crazy that when you're on the other side, it's like, oh yeah, of course. And you might not. So that's like the stories we tell ourselves and the amount of worlds that are coming, like individual worlds that are walking off of one plane.
Yeah.
And the perspectives on that shit is fucking crazy to me.
It's funny too, like that point of you don't really see other perspectives until it's you in that seat, and you're like, oh, I see why somebody might have to rush off a plane now.
Yeah.
I can't judge them as harshly as I might.
But as that realization is one thing, but living it is another. Like when I'm driving, whoever's crossing the street is a fucking asshole. When it's red, is a fucking asshole. I'm like, I'm fucking driving over here, New York type shit. When I'm the pedestrian, I'm like, you fucking slow down. This is New York. Like I'm gonna walk when I want to walk. It is like, and I know both, and like continuously I'll get upset over the other one. I'm like, okay, Marcel, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all good. You'd be yelling at you right now. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's been nice.
Dude, I saw something on Instagram the other day that I wanted to ask you about, or see. Just like I feel like it was a great topic to bring to the podcast because I saw like both humor and kind of like what we want to do with this in the Instagram post that I saw. So this guy was posting, like basically telling a story about how he had a bunch of his friends or people that he like, kind of like he knew some really well, didn't know some that all that well. Some are business owners or, whatever. Has them all over to his house, makes them put all their phones away, like completely. There's like, no devices, cooks a meal, and then basically has like roundtable discussions with these men about, stuff that they're trying to grow in, stuff that they might be lacking in, where they could help each other.
Professionally, personally, both?
Both, I think.
Okay.
And it seemed like a pretty cool like thing. It seemed like a meeting of the minds, like, I don't know. So I opened the comments to like see what people were saying, and some are like, obviously roasting like, oh wow, this guy discovered like hanging out with his friends for the first time. Or like people are like, oh my god, not having your phone here sounds brutal. But then so many people were just like, oh, you guys are gay. Like, of
course.
I have to pull up the comments because they're so insane. It's like, just so many comments being like, this is fucking gay, or like this, like, dude, as a gay man, this is gay, like just, and I was like, is it like, I just don't see, like, maybe the format in which the information was presented was like a little, I don't know, like
no
high
phone, so we got no proof what's happening.
Like high on your own
closed doors.
supply, or like, the way like someone could talk can be construed as like, oh, like little, in your face or hoity-toity. But I think the concept as a whole, like just dudes getting together to chat and talk about things like their feelings, their struggles, their things they want to grow in. I feel like why is it perceived so negatively? Like the first comments are like, fuck this guy, or like, I don't want to be here. Like, this is stupid, or the opposite, like, you guys are just fucking gay. Like, what?
That's fucking...
It's insane.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know how to respond to that. Like,
Right?
because I've heard before that, like, depending on how your algorithm is, like, your algorithm is obviously sorting content, but it's also sorting comments. So you probably consume a whole lot of gay stuff, which is what
Is that true? Outing myself.
No, I'm not joking. Like, probably the type of people that watch the same content as you do would probably leave those comments, right? Which does it. So, which also gives it's crazy to me to think that the algorithm is literally like, you can see the positive side or the negative side on Instagram, depending on what you engage with more too. And like, I am not innocent. I have definitely dabbled in the shit section of the comments.
No one should look at my Explore page.
Some of them are fucking funny. Like, it's just so funny. It's fucking wrong, but it's so funny.
And that's the thing, is like, it's hilarious, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of want to talk about it on the podcast because it feels like what we're trying to do right now is that we're creating a space where
for sure.
And so it's like, hey, there's just further proof that the stigma of guys getting together to share how they're feeling, or talking about things they're struggling with, or even just like get emotional or vulnerable with other men, is still so hard received as like either you're gay or like that's fucking stupid. Why would you do that?
Well, I think if anything, I'm just going to take this as a beautiful little endorsement, encouragement for what we're doing to make that a little more gay still.
Even gayer than it possibly could have been.
Because they could have not worn clothes. And I think, just like we are right now.
Yeah.
Guys, you got
if you're on the video, you've known that the whole time.
No, I think it's... why do people call it gay, right? Mm-hmm. And funny, right? The same way we call shit gay, we don't actually mean it. And I think a lot of those dudes are probably more so viewing it like that's just like it's a good setup for a joke, so they're running with it.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which could be. So I don't want to say whether or not they actually believe that and make that a thing, or if that's just joking. So that's step one, right? Yeah. But yeah, so I have something for you really quick that I think attaches onto this. I mentioned this to you before. I think now is a good time to bring it up, and then next week we talk about it. I thought we could come up with a list of like the 10 most romantic things you should do, because I think this kind of falls into that realm, and I want to stick with the situation, but just throw out this challenge for you. The 10 most romantic things you should do with your bro more often. And we'll
okay.
Kiss. Let's duh. Let's maybe each come up with 10, 15, 20, and then edit the list down to like top 5. I think that'll be a fun one next week.
Okay, hell yeah. Yeah,
okay,
I'm
cool.
down
So
with
that's set up for next week. But no, dude, I think that is so important. Just a space where you can sit and chill and look, even just trying to make that happen. I don't know what's happening behind closed doors. I don't know what those conversations look like. They could still be very much like not well intentioned, but not really getting anybody anywhere. But honestly, just having your opinion heard and getting some feedback that's falling on ears that is welcoming and forgiving and understanding, rather than the shit that we constantly go through. Like, is what I'm about to say next going to get me canceled?
Yeah.
Like, it's just nice to be able, which also very much the motto for our podcast. Yeah.
Every day we stray farther and farther into the fray.
It's fun though. I like it out here. It's good. No, I think it's awesome. I think we should do that. I don't know. Maybe it's the idea that the phone's away is like a
maybe
like
that's
phones.
it.
It's like
Yeah.
that normally happens at like sex parties, which I've been to plenty. I have not been to sex parties.
Damn, I was like, dude, I can't wait to hear about this. I got questions on questions for you.
No. I think I would have liked to try it, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
No, and I would have liked to try it back then. Now I don't know. It really did. Like, I feel like I'm so much more in tune with who people are now. I don't know if I could just randomly fuck around.
Yeah. Anyway,
but these
that was a
guys,
story.
these guys, got me. No. I think what you know.
Yeah.
I would fucking want to talk to those guys. Fuck those comments.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Fuck them. That's gay.
Fuck them. Fuck. That's so gay.
Well, getting together, it's also the holidays now, which Thanksgiving, absolutely not a German holiday for me, really. We don't celebrate it, but like I do love the coming together, the gratefulness. We've talked about that. Obviously,
Absolutely.
like a huge thing, and like it's like the one day where the world is trying to be as cool as we are on the daily. I did this. Oh, fuck.
I hate that.
I hate that so much. No, we are also just trying, but genuinely, like, I wish people were like that every fucking day. I talked to my dear friend Devin about a year ago. It must have been, because I think it was about Thanksgiving, and she randomly like looks at me and tells me, like, I don't know how she brought it up, but she's like, I would describe you as the type of friend like that I'd have to warn my family about before bringing them home.
And how'd you take that? Did you make her
I don't
describe
know.
it? Were you like, could you explain that?
No, because like I think I get it. I
totally understand.
I don't think I can be mad because I think I get it. Like, I'm a lot. Like, listen to us talk. Like, I think she'd say the same about you. You know what I mean?
I would think, yeah.
We're loud, and like I have this conversation a lot with Clara where she's like you're so loud at things. Like, she has trouble maintaining conversations because she feels like in a room, like if we're on opposite ends, all she hears is me, and I'm like, well, I do have a voice that travels.
Yeah.
I'm trained. No, I feel bad about it, like, because I know that like it's a something I enjoy, to like walk into a room and be able to like connect fairly easily.
Yeah.
But this loudness, this in your faceness, I think it took me a while to like accept that that's who I am and like be more than just okay with it.
When you say more than just okay, what do you mean by that?
Like, appreciate myself for what that is, even though it might rub some people the wrong way. Because like at the end of the day, if you're rubbed the wrong way, that sounds like a you problem, and like within limits, of course. Like, because I'm like, Clara's told me, and like I appreciate her telling me, and I'm trying to be respectful of her feelings in that sense. So I'm like trying to like pump the brakes a little bit and not yell. Yeah. But at the same time, like I get carried away in a good conversation. There is no holding me back. Like, fuck.
Did you try to like after that conversation? Did you cater your like the way that you were talking, or try to like dial that back at all?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For sure. Like a little bit. I'm trying to be more mindful, especially like she was mentioning in like 2-on-2 conversations, like when we were hanging out with other couples, like especially when there's not like, it's maybe new couple friends, or like we haven't really sat much in that constellation yet. I tend to feel a little bit insecure about like the conversational flow and think like I need to control it. So I'll jump in a lot when there's an opening. Like, I'm the last person, and we've talked about this, we're the last people to sit on a silence. Like, if there's a silence, we'll have something to say, for better or for worse, right?
Absolutely.
So I am trying to be more mindful, and I think not drinking has helped a lot with that. Like me on a couple glasses of wine plus is like, try and get a word in edgewise. I dare you. Like,
That's funny.
It's rough. But I to an extent, I'm doing what I can, but I'm also telling her now, like, look, babe, if you feel drowned out, like, nobody has ever told me that. Maybe it's also something you can figure out, and like, why you're feeling so strongly about me in this way. But like, I think, beautiful example for trying to work away at a problem from both sides, right? Like I'm coming towards you a little bit while still maintaining who I am, but also I need you to like question why you're feeling so strongly about this, and like you know,
Is this something you've been working on? Like, do you do? Or are you just like
regularly? I mean, just as like it's just happening. Nothing crazy. Like I'm not meditating. Like I should talk less.
You still text Devin. You're like, fuck you, Devin.
Oh no, I fucking love her for saying that. Like who the fuck tells you something like that out of nowhere?
It actually is a wild thing to
awesome.
have said to you. Like,
yeah, right.
Man, well, good to see you. By the way, you are probably someone I would warn my parents about before bringing you home.
Which it's not even in the romantic sense. It's more so like oh, I'm bringing this home over, and like just so you know, I'm like, girl, I've seen you at the karaoke bar. Like you threw bars down. Like she goes deep into 90s hip hop and like raps that shit through.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. She's you've met her, no? Devin from Booth.
Yeah. Devin's
her,
dope.
dude. Yeah,
That's
she's a so from her I'll have it.
Hell yeah, dude.
So we talk about what we want to talk about on the episode before now to have it a little bit more structured, but then sometimes it's still funny when there's just like
my brain just goes
flow into the name.
Yeah. Brain dead. The no coffee in me is hitting.
Yeah.
No, dude, I had so you this past week you were on vacation, right? I went out to LA. I was in Los Angeles working on a commercial.
Oh, that's right. You dipped too.
Yeah, dude, crazy. Only for like a couple days. Like I feel like the amount of travel I've done this year is so dope. Like I think I've traveled more this year than I ever have. Anyway, I was in LA working on a commercial, and you know it's a pretty like it's pretty me heavy commercial. Like I'm like the hero of the spot. You know, which feels
not
weird,
only the
feels
hero,
weird
but
to even
the
say. Villain.
Oh, are you the villain?
No.
Oh,
not only the hero, but the what?
I thought you were like a superhero in this.
Oh, well, no, I'm not like a superhero.
Okay,
I'm like a
just a hero.
The main character is called like the hero talent or whatever.
Got it, dude. But I thought you literally said you were a hero in this.
Oh, yes, like hero as
hero
like
as
lingo.
in like
yeah, like
lingo
in
hero.
Acting lingo.
Dude, I thought you were an actual superhero in this.
I
Are
wish.
you for real?
That'd be sick.
Dude,
sorry.
Like, I thought that was like the whole thing. That's why I said, oh, we'll get you into Marvel and shit. I thought you were a superhero on a commercial spot.
No,
Fuck,
well,
dude.
action hero.
Still
sort of.
cool.
Anyway,
Okay,
so like
got it.
The spot's like very it's all centered on me walking through these different scenarios in this like really like Mission Impossible meets The Matrix kind of ad. This thing's gonna look sick.
So still not superhero, but still like actions.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay, cool.
Super
so it's still
cool.
dope. Got it.
Probably the coolest project I've worked on in a long time. Super excited to be there, and
They hated you.
Yeah, I
hated
got there and
everything
out
you
the
did.
gate they were like, "Oh man, this is gonna suck. This kid blows."
Who the fuck is in charge of casting?
Yeah,
Fired.
But I'm working through stuff, and as I'm working through stuff, the crew always is like, "Dude, you're crushing it. Dude, you're nailing it, bro. This looks so good. This is like, oh, you crushed it. Let's move on. You know, let's go to." And I wanted to ask you this too. Is at that moment when someone's like, "Hey, you know, you're doing a good job," whatever. I could not, for the life of me, believe it. Not in like a like. It just felt like I was like, "Oh, this can't be that good." Like you guys are you're fucking with me,
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
like, really?
I know that voice.
Really? Is it
I
that
know
like?
that voice.
Do we? I think we could do another one, and I probably could do it better somehow.
Are you just trying to like get through this because it sucks? Like
No.
you know, like
Yeah,
them
exactly.
thinking, like,
It's was it bad? And
yeah,
now
like, oh my god, we're not going to be able to
can't
improve. Let's
waste
just
any
run
more
with this.
time.
Yeah,
we have to go to the next thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I had this like inner battle with myself on set between like, they're just messing with me right now. Everyone's just saying this stuff because it's what they have to say. It's professional. They want to be nice to the people they work with. And the other half being like, no, I am good. I'm good at what I do. Like this is, you know, it's good to hear. That's a compliment. I should take that.
Yeah.
And it's a constant war that I was losing.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
I mean, you were also winning. It's both you.
Yeah, but it's
both
like,
you.
it's
But,
just crazy that like, I don't know. Have you ever felt like that in your like work, or where someone's like, dude, you're doing a great job. You're crushing it. You're killing it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was like imposter syndrome or just me not being good at like accepting compliments or feeling like, okay, well, you know, if they're saying that, like, if I'm a part of it, it might not be that great. I don't know why it was hard for me to just be like, oh, thank you so much. Like, let's keep moving. You know, like, let's, you know, I don't know. I couldn't accept the compliment at all.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I relate to that for sure. I also like there's this fine line, I think, between like accepting a compliment and like where you stay grounded, and then also letting that, like, there's a little pressure valve. Like you can let a little in and you can be like, okay, good, feel good about yourself. But I feel like we've seen this a lot in our industry too, where people have that valve just fucking like, they're like, unscrew that shit, right? And it goes straight to their head, and you be like, anything they do is fucking dope. And like, I don't want to be that person.
Right.
So I'd rather err on the side of like, I'm going to be humble, right?
Absolutely.
Coupled with an actual disbelief that you fuck with what I do, right? So like, it's both like this systematic approach, as well as like what I feel like in the moment. People are like, oh my God, you've accomplished so much with your career. And I tend to just generally push that away, because I normally, my response is like, it's just a number on a screen. And like by now that number has been stagnant for a while. So I sure as fuck don't feel like an accomplished person. Like I may have been, but it feels stale now. So it's even harder to celebrate milestones of like cracking 600K when it took me a year to go from 590 to 600. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing that I try to remind myself of in that moment is don't take. You read the 4 Agreements?
Yes.
Yeah, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not the junior. That's the senior.
Yeah,
I think.
the senior.
Yeah. One of them is don't take anything personally. Right. One of the 4 agreements is to not take anything personally, and that is, I do well with insults. Like I can, if someone comes at me, like I love insults.
I insult myself all the time. Like,
Constantly.
you know, yeah.
No, like I can take that and put it away, because I'm like, if you need to insult me right now, if you're on, like, my bad, bro. Like I feel sorry for you. You're unhappy. You're letting it out. Like I'm a happy person. I would never insult anybody, because I'm like, I know I insult people when I'm hurt.
Right.
That's everybody else. So like, you insult me, no problem. I won't take that personally. But you telling me, whoa, that's a dope outfit. You telling me, yo, you look great. Like that's hot abs, fucking like, you know, being objectified on Instagram. We're a lot, like, it's harder to put that away and being like self-validating on all levels, right? I shared in episode 1 or 2, I think, 1, the story of like how I came up in fashion, right?
Yeah.
Like how I developed my style.
Yeah.
And the snippet out there was really just like, you know, trying to feel better about myself because others validated me, right? And somebody commented like, oh, that's far from inspirational. And I'm like, yo, it depends on how you look at it though. Because yeah, of course, it's not necessarily inspirational. Oh, I do this for the love, and like I only want to give to the world, and I felt, you know, so pure in my doing. No, like, if there was no one around, you wouldn't get dressed, bro. Like, you would not wear clothes.
Right.
Fuck off, right? It's just the thing that I did was for me. Like, I chose fashion for me, but I did it for other. Same with, like, you make music for yourself, but then other people need to listen to it. Like, if you're by yourself, like, there's this one process, and then, like, the internal process and the external process, and they meet. And it's a mingle of both, right? And same way with this shit. Like, you gotta internally validate yourself, like, and you do it because you fucking, like, did you have fun in that shot?
I had a blast, dude. It was like, there was a time too where I was looking around and I was like, it's back to the gratitude thing, where I was like, I need to be so grateful right now, because I want to do this for like 100 more years.
Hell
like this
yeah,
was
dude.
like, I was like, this is exactly where I want to be.
But see, so now whether or not you're able to accept that fucking doesn't matter. You had a blast, bro.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like you care about doing well so you can do it again. But like, you heard nothing but you're doing good.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So they're like, to snap out of that shit is so hard. Like, I'm with you.
Well, I think a big thing too that you mentioned was, and I wanted to talk to you as like a tail on that, was like celebrating the wins. Like, that is something where I think, I don't know if it's like just native to this example, but also whenever someone's like, dude, you've done so much, you've done a great job. Like, oh my God, you had a hell of a year, or that project you submitted was great. I almost like block that stuff out, and I'm just like, what's the next thing? You know, that was cool. That was fun. That was great. What's the next project? What's the next, you know, thing? Like, I feel like my MO is consistent forward motion on the next thing, which makes it very hard to celebrate current wins. And I was talking to my therapist about this last week. About this, I was like, look, everyone was saying I did a great job. I couldn't accept it. And then, you know, I was just like, all right, like, trying to be in gratitude as much as I possibly could, because I know that the minute I leave the set, it's like, all right, what's next? You know, I have a tough time celebrating like I did that. Oh, that was a good job. Like, yes, I showed up and I did well, and you know, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Do you celebrate your wins, or is there like are you
really-
good?
I
Are you
struggle
good at
with that
that,
as well,
or is
dude.
that something you struggle with? Or
I struggle with that as well. Like, how would you?
like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, and if you guys know, like, you know, watching or listening, like, I would truly love to know how would be a good way to like celebrate personal wins. Like,
people are like, oh, let's pop a bottle of champagne or something, and that you know, like these. Which alcohol, right? Like, again, maybe next episode we can dive into that a little bit as we're heading into the holiday season. But for me, it's like, why, like, looking forward to the next project is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back at what you did is another. But neither of those are right here, right now.
Right.
So, like, are you happy when you're taking acting classes?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't really think about it. I think it's like, I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my point is, like, you're more triggered to be grateful when you're shooting the fucking spot, right?
Yes.
But you could also be triggered to be grateful when you're in acting class because you get to do the thing.
Right.
The thing is the same. One is in practice and the other one is for money. But, like, this is part of who you are, what you love, and you get to do this. Mm-hmm. That's something to be grateful for in the here and now. Whether you did a job last week, whether you're going to do one in a week, all doesn't matter. If you're there right now and you're loving it and you can be grateful for that, that's dope, no?
Yeah. No,
So,
I agree. So I think too, it's just like I gotta think of the phrasing. Like, since the thing that I've completed is not like my ultimate goal, it's like, all right, this was cool, but I still gotta strive to get this thing. And I'm scared that at some point I will achieve that thing that I'm going for and not feel any sort of gratitude.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
I get that.
To me.
But that's why the point, like, this, you and everybody who's listening to this or watching this has heard this before. It's not about the destination. It's about the fucking journey there, right? We know this up here. We've heard this. It's the same shit as be grateful for, like, what you do until you understand what it means to be grateful. What it means to be grateful is to actually in the moment appreciate what you have. Not, I have to think this so I get more. No, we get to sit at a table with brand new fucking equipment. I get to talk to my best friend and hopefully some people listen. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. It's not even about the hopefully some people listen, right? That's an add-on.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Just doing it.
This is just doing it. Because if you do it for the thing, like, that's like a dopamine release, right? And that shit fades. It just goes. Serotonin is here, is now, is gratitude. And that's something that's sustainable and long term. So the sooner you can, be grateful that you can act. In a classroom, with other people, on Instagram, for what fucking ever. If we start doing any stupid skits, like, soak that up.
Yeah.
Because then even when you hit that goal and you're like, well, now that's done. Like, I don't know how I feel, but you can look back and look at every single day that you put time and effort and love into this and be like, fuck yeah. And then you want to keep doing it because the goal should be like something you focus on. You have in your fucking vision, but you can walk that way. And who the fuck knows what happens then? Either you feel complete and you're like, okay, cool. Like, now I just want to do what I want to do and I don't need to go towards that anymore. But I think that's the only way you can set yourself up for actual success is if you enjoy the thing. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like the whole music thing. Like, you know, if nobody listens to my music at the end of the day, I'm not like, am I bummed? Like, maybe, but like not really, because I like it. Yeah. So, you know, like doing it for yourself. That's a good point. Thank you. That's solid.
Yeah. Do it for yourself.
But you also, you said that you also have that kind of like predisposition or like that issue with celebrating your wins or not believing.
But that's my point. Like, I'm like, I don't really. I've always had a hard time celebrating my things. Like, there was a few moments where I was like, fuck yeah, in my career. Like, sponsoring my own visa and consequently my own green card was fucking huge because that allowed me to stay here. Huge, monumental fucking things, right? Another was making making Forbes 30 under 30.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Congrats, dude.
Oh, this is a good example.
Because
This is a good example.
I wanted Forbes 30 under 30
For sure.
so bad.
No, but okay, this is a good example. Like, to me, I use it as an accolade, like accolade. What? How do you say
Accolade.
that? Accolade. Fuck.
An accolade.
An accolade. An accolade.
An accolade.
Because I know a lot of people still view it as a lot. To me, it was like someone that I'd worked with knew it, made the list in Europe. List makers then recommend someone else, and then you still have to write a pitch, right? And yes, when I started my blog, it was about giving men a feeling of confidence, right? Because that's what had happened to me, and there's your freaking inspirational story. Thank you. Because I wanted to share that. I felt insecure, and I felt like, you know, it's something that from the outside in, it was an armor, and I was one of the first to do it in America. Cool. Right. So like, that was my grounds for like why I applied. But at the end of the day, I feel like so many of my friends who started around the same time as I did deserve the same type of credit, and I just happened upon it because I knew someone. So to me, again, it's not for the external validation so much. Like any time I was looking for it and I got there, I kind of saw through it, and that's where the advice that I guess just stumbled upon in my brain, because I haven't really actively thought this through in this way. I was just happy to have lived the life I did on a daily basis, to wake up, to go to bed at night excited to wake up again the next morning and do it again. And if that led to me being Forbes 30, sick. If that led to me making a lot of money, sick. It's all spent now anyway.
Boy, was that fun.
Wow, the 20s were sick. Yeah, man, I think the remedy to that is just to do it because you love it, and like it's a fine line to be walking. Like setting goals without the goals being the only thing that gives it meaning. Like you set your goals, right?
Yeah.
So you have a direction, but then you focus on every step.
Yeah. I was just to put a little kibosh on this point.
On this little accolade.
On this little accolade. One of my really, really good friends told me, I don't know if he heard this from like his acting coach or a teacher or something, but he was basically saying that they got this analogy that, like, you know, let's say you want, like, you're shooting for the moon, right? And you're in this like wagon, and you've got a rope tied around the moon, and you're pulling and you're pulling and you're pulling and you're pulling, right?
Yeah.
The moon it's, you know, so far away, and it's not
sure is
getting that much closer as you're pulling.
You don't see the progress.
No, but if you look behind you, you can see all the rope that you've pulled on already, which is like, okay, I have done this. I'm making forward movement, and although I might not see my goal getting closer at this moment, I am doing the thing.
Okay, say you're halfway up to the moon now.
Yeah.
Look back.
Yep.
What happens with the rope?
Still, there's a lot of rope in there.
So you can't really tell the difference right now anyway, right? You're still halfway to the moon. You can't really see it getting bigger every time you pull, right?
I suppose not.
But the one thing that stays constant is the space between your one hand and the other moving. That's something that you constantly see progress on right here, right now.
Damn.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, it's a good layer to the analogy. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's important to see where you're going, see the moon. I think it's important to see how far you've come, look back at the rope. But the only space that matters to actually make progress, and it's visceral, like you can touch that shit, is right here in every grip. Like, same shit.
Damn.
I feel good about that one. Thanks.
Snap, like we just finished a poem. That was good.
Thanks. No, that's. We should start doing this shit at night more. My brain is different. Also, I think I'm way more perceptive to this shit now. You know what I mean?
I feel like in the morning I'm cracked out on coffee, and now I feel like I try and chill
more
a
mellow.
Bit. Yeah, way more mellow.
Do you guys like this vibe more?
I know you better like the audio more because we got all set up.
Don't make it be not worth it.
Please.
Okay, I have a question for you. Like, because this happens sometimes to me when I have these very intimate talks with Clara.
Okay.
Similar candor of what we just did. but more about like not about life and broad things, but more about us and our relationship and like working through problems.
Yeah.
I get emotionally hard a lot.
Emotionally hard?
I get emotionally hard. I get turned on by emotional vulnerability, both on my own behalf, like when I'm able to do that with her,
Okay.
as well as her being vulnerable and us consequently getting closer to one another is a huge turn on for me.
Like physical turn on.
Physical turn, like a hard one, like hard on.
I've never heard that, but I definitely.
That's why I'm like, I wanted to pose this question. Like, do people get emotional boners?
Damn, that's a good. I mean, I think so. I mean, yeah, no.
Just not you.
No, yeah, I think so. I just haven't found the medicine that helps with that. No, dude, I think it's so. I would never like. I think some people just call it getting closer to their partner, or like understanding their partner more. But I think there is definitely a layer of intimacy that you unlock as you continually learn and share more about yourself. And I mean, obviously, this
right?
Is
no, and it is, but like whether or not that's tethered to sexuality is the question that I wonder if that's. I know it's not just me, for fucking sure it's not.
Yeah.
But like what set of qualities or values one person must hold for that to go into effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's an emotional boner.
Yeah.
I got an emo boner.
An emo boner?
An emo boner.
What was that?
Emotional. Emo.
Oh, emo boner. I had an email boner. I was like, is that
I get those as well.
Is that when a new job hits the inbox? I'm like, ooh, rock hard.
Yes, you responded in timely fashion? Fuck yeah.
I love that.
Oh, no, that's good. I gotta think. I like that emotional boner. That's funny.
How's that funny?
It's just funny.
It's not funny.
It's funny because
stop thinking about my dick.
Boners.
Stop thinking.
Like if you just called it, I get emotionally high. It's not the same weight as I get
erect.
emotionally erect. Get a double E.
Double E.
Get a double E.
A little
Got a
alliteration.
Got a little half chub. A little double E there.
And the EHC, emotional half chub.
Emotional. The emotional half chub.
The emotional half chub. We all know it.
Dude.
You want to end on the emotional boner?
Yeah, I think emotional boner is a good way to end it.
Nice.
I think it's good.
I think we should make it a point to have people think about either or both of our dicks by the end of every episode. Because I think we're like 3 for 5 now. I think
talking about dicks.
Talking about dicks
or
at the last
sexual.
Like dick. Goodbye.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. Penis. That's really
penis. Yeah. No. This is good.
Oh,
this is a fun one.
real quick before we wrap.
Quick.
Any update on the Tantra book?
God, you have monstrous.
Yeah,
hands.
I have meat hands, dude. They're like meat mitten hands. Large hands.
Huge dong.
Yeah. You know what they say. Say about
Tantra book. Yeah, we can get into it more. I finished it. I want to read. And I have one more chapter, I think.
Okay.
It's super interesting. It is urban tantra, so like there's a lot of talk of like BDSM type shit and like and toys and stuff, which I'm not by any means against. It's just it doesn't feel like the pure thing. So I'm gonna go now read the book by this highly controversial. That was the word I was looking for. Controversial.
All right.
Highly controversial cult leader eventually. Osho. O-S-H-O.
Yes.
Who popularized tantra in the West in the 80s, 70s, I think. I want to read his book and report back.
Sick. All right.
By then, but
just wanted to check in and see.
Yeah. No.
I've been thinking about it all day. So
it's really and I feel like I didn't have a proper description of it last time, but I don't think I can get any closer. It's really just this conscious sex, whether you're with yourself or not, and like a lot of it's about preparation, prepping the room, setting the vibe. Like it really just means like a thorough, well thought out sexual experience, whether that's with yourself or with the other. And a huge part of it is prep exercises too that are very silly, like dancing around, shaking things off, and once if you go in and actively set the scene and then take that awkwardness away, strip yourself of the stress of every day, and spend your solid 10, 20, 30 minutes to get there. This is not foreplay. This is nothing sexual. To then embark on a sexual journey, I think, is even just conceptually fucking dope.
yeah.
Because so much of sex is so shame attached, right? Like societally, like we're not taught to talk about sex openly. So there's a lot of shame. And that shame we carry into the bedrooms, and we feel like we can't communicate with our partners what we want, what we don't want, that we want to tell, that we want to hear what they want. Like, communication is just as in any fucking part of life so important, but it's not something. So like, if you take all that awkwardness away, it sets a really nice runway for open conversation, because like, you just did that together.
Yeah.
Fuck it, like let's do this together now, and like I'm gonna tell you what I like and what I don't. So that's kind of like the synopsis on that. But I want to see if we get deeper. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, man. This is cool. Yeah. Can I get a hey?
Can I get a hiya? Oh, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
And dude, I'm excited for next week as well. I gotta start thinking of my 10 things.
Oh yeah,
10 romantic things.
Tune back in for 10 romantic. Well, for us discussing romantic things that you should probably be doing more of.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah. All right, love you guys. I'm looking deep into your eyes as I said that. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Right back at you.
See you in the next one. Have a good day.